What's up, everybody? Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down the top 5 characters to solo freaking carry. Whether you have trash teammates, you got people that don't use comms, or just are basically throwing, and you need to freaking whip out the backpack. These are the characters that are going to get you there and get you to win that game anyways. So let's break them all down. Now, kicking it off with number 5, this is more or less an honorable mention. Doesn't quite reach the level of the top 4, but definitely still a character that can solo carry, and that's KAYO. Now, as opposed to something like Skye or even Sova, why is KAYO the initiator, the only initiator on this list for solo carrying? Well, their main reason that KAYO is so damn good is not only his ability to gather information, but the fact that you can disable enemies' abilities and then you can take a duel with them with flash. In that way, KAYO kind of plays this hybrid role where you can do things that an initiator would normally do, gather that information, set up your team, but if that's not available, you can take matters into your own hands, and honestly, KAYO is a lot easier of a character to play and master than a character like Skye. I think if you're looking for a character that can really just solo carry you through a lot of games, KAYO has all the tools to do so without making it so you have to just grind him non-stop and be a god at him. A lot of his skill level and impact percentage is going to come from your individual gunplay because his abilities are overall one of the easier ones to master in the initiation slot, and I think that he's just a great pick overall if you're looking for a character to dominate even if you have terrible freaking teammates. Now, getting into the actual primary list, let's start off with number 4. This is a character that really can basically change how an entire round is played, and it's Killjoy. Killjoy is going to be a character that can just really silently carry games, and you don't even realize it, but it is so damn insane. First off, your pistol percentage goes up exponentially just having a Killjoy on your team. A turret in pistol round is freaking insanely powerful, and over the course of a game, a Killjoy is going to be able to get a lot of free kills without you needing a giant amount of mechanical skill if you just play off your utility. Having nanoswarm setups, turret crossfires, and just being able to retake with lockdown, all of these things combined add up to a character that gets to really play the game on her terms, doesn't have to take these gunfights, and even up against players that might be mechanically better than you, it's not really gonna matter at the end of the day. You can still be an absolute menace up against them with Killjoy, and if you can develop that mechanical skill and adopt it with your play, I think Killjoy is just one of the best players that you could possibly solo carry with, and she's so freaking powerful. But before we move on to the top 3, definitely go check out the GameLeap website down below for in-depth advanced VOD reviews showing you step-by-step how to play any of these characters. But let's get back into the video. Now, moving on to the top 3, the third best character to solo carry on this list is actually Jett. Jett is a freaking phenomenal character to solo carry with. She is so goddamn powerful. Her knives are amazing for eco rounds, where you can either use your knives when your team is saving and you have a chance to clutch up a round that you really shouldn't be able to win on paper, but if you get to get a gun, you get to upgrade one of your teammates. Now all of a sudden you have numbers advantage, you have technically something that is close to power level of a gun, and your teammates have a gun, and you could actually win that round when the enemy has bought completely and you didn't buy shit, and that's amazing. On top of that, because of Jett's kit, she can utilize certain guns better than any other character. She's better with shotguns, she's better with SMGs than any other character, she's better with snipers than any other character, and when you really think about it, that's crazy that a character could utilize all these guns to a higher extent than anyone else. But if I had to talk about one big downside or one big thing that a lot of Jett players need to work on is how they're using their smokes. I think that there's 2 really cool ways to use a smoke that a lot of people are not. The first one is just using it to create space on point. You can use it to block LOS temporarily just so you can move up and take a more aggressive position, or if you need to quickly change the angle that you're actually peeking. You're peeking one angle, you want to move up and peek another angle while not peeking 2 angles simultaneously. You just quickly use your smoke, even if it's like in the middle of point, as long as it's blocking the angle to the LOS of where you're at, it's perfectly fine. Another thing that you should be using with your smokes, I think is underrated, is using it to stop things like a silver dart from really far away. If you quickly have one and you react to a silver dart, you can make it seem like no one's there, even if the Sova might think that, hey, no one shot it, it didn't reveal anyone. Obviously, there's no one B long or whatever, but really there is. He just didn't hear the smoke because he's too far away. He had a lineup and you get to sneak up on him. Definitely very powerful stuff you can do on Jett, but overall, Jett's a very hard character to learn mechanically, but she definitely has all the tools to help you just solo carry an entire game and make enemies respect you, unlike anything else. Now, the next character that we got to talk about to solo carry is actually a controller on the list, and it's Viper. Viper is so goddamn good right now. She's freaking phenomenal. And the really great thing about Viper, especially the lower you get in rank, the less and less people know how to properly play around lineups. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't want to have to learn every single lineup on Viper, but here's what you should do instead. Learn one lineup a day, just a single lineup, a very easy, regular default lineup to a common plant zone or a default plant zone, and you're gonna be able to really start to learn these very quickly. I mean, just every time you're gonna play, just pop up a video and learn just a single one, and before you know it, 3 weeks down the road, and you're gonna know most of them that are useful, if I'm being honest. Now, the reason that Viper is so strong when enemies are not properly prepared for the lineups is people don't clear sight quick enough. So by the time they tap that spike the first time, they don't have enough time to wait out both of your lineups and then actually defuse. They take way too long to clear the site. They don't position to actually aggressively challenge a Viper. They're not thinking about these lineups or these rollouts. So Viper has just a lot of free value that comes from you just knowing lineups, and you're gonna be winning games just like that. Not to mention all the other great stuff about Viper, her retake ability, her ultimate just being freaking nasty. I mean, there's a lot to love about this character. Now, while I want to give this to pretty much any other character, if I'm being honest, because it seems like a broken record at this point, I just can't. Reyna is the best character to solo carry with. First off, let's talk about her pistol round and why having a Reyna on your team in pistol round is really just fundamentally unfair in ranked. If you can get any kill, like if you could trade any damage, you get that orb and you get to 150, especially if you have a ghost, you can really just zone away enemies and no one could do anything about you. You can start to trade damage with enemies, and once you get that initial kill, it just snowballs so hard because no one can one tap you back, especially if you stay out of that classic right click range. Reyna has the capability to just dominate a pistol round, but it's not just that. Reyna overall is a character that can directly translate your mechanical skill into a game into more 1vx clutches than any other character. Sure, Jett has the ability to use her knives and she's better on eco and she can dash away, but unlike Jett, Reyna has that possibility to enter in perpetual 1v1s where you trade some amount of damage. The enemy might even use abilities on you. They might do some damage to you, but it doesn't matter. Reyna can consistently fight a true fair 1v1 over and over again, and plus you have a team flash that your teammates can just rush on like apes to a point, and that's just very powerful. The lower in rank you go, the more effective that rush strategies like that are going to be, and Reyna is just like the perfect solo carry character. But the caveat is you are going to need a certain amount of mechanical skill to pull her off. She's not a character that plays herself. She's not a character that is going to solo carry you if you don't have the mechanical skill to back you up. That being said, I do think that Viper, Killjoy are perfect characters for that. If you're more of a mind game type person, you really want to outthink your enemies and you really want to have impact by doing making the right decisions, then Viper and Killjoy are probably characters that you want to flock to. And then Jett and Reyna are going to be more for those of you that would rather revolve the game around a mechanical basis, and then KAYO somewhere in the middle. But definitely let me know what character you like to solo carry with in the comments down below, and go to the GameLeap website for in-depth VOD reviews over any of these characters. But thank you so much for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the video. I love your faces, and I'll see you next time.